Life Audio.
Welcome to the Crosswalk Devotional. We're glad to have you listening with us. Today's topic is letting God's light shine through us into the darkness of our fallen world. We'll return with the devotional after a brief message from our sponsors.
The ship's drifting out of control. Get out of there now.
What happened?
His cord snapped. Some called it impossible.
Okay, Dave, I don't know where I am.
Others call it a miracle.
Son, no, he's not.
Focus Features presents the inspirational true story
I got an idea.
that kept the world breathless.
This isn't working.
You can do this, buddy.
Starring Woody Harrelson
Now!
and Simu Liu.
I'm not losing a diver today.
Last Breath, based on a true story. Rated PG-13. May be inappropriate for children under 13. Only in theaters today.
There's no place like Israel, rich in history, culture, and spiritual significance. From walking through ancient Jerusalem to floating in the Dead Sea or experiencing Tel Aviv's modern energy, it's a destination like no other. While I haven't visited yet, I've heard how life-changing it is. Now more than ever, we stand with Israel and pray for peace. I look forward to exploring its beauty one day. Learn more at goisrael.com.
We are children of the light, written and read by Whitney Hopler. You are all children of the light and children of the day. We do not belong to the night or to the darkness. 1 Thessalonians 5:5, NIV. As the sun began to set over White Sands National Park, the sprawling gypsum dunes that had been a blinding white during the day reflected shadows from the changing light. The blue sky started to glow with bright colors of orange, pink, and gold. Both the sky and the sand turned into an open canvas, reflecting changing light in every direction. My husband and I stood on top of one of the tallest sand dunes to take in the wonderful sight. The beauty the light revealed was an awe-inspiring display of the Creator's design. A panorama of colorful light surrounded us. We were so excited to experience God's wonder in such an immersive way that we walked in circles on top of the dune together. That way, we could enjoy and celebrate the light coming toward us from all directions. Just as the sun sends light into our days, Jesus, the light of the world, enlightens our souls. He calls us to reflect His light, to be children of the light and children of the day, as 1 Thessalonians 5:5 says. God wants us to live lives that shine brightly in this fallen world that's full of darkness. The Bible's words in 1 Thessalonians 5:5 remind us of our identity and mission. We are not of the night or the darkness. Instead, we belong to the day, called to let God's light shine through us to point others to hope. As believers, we have the important responsibility to reflect God's light in everything we do. Reflecting God's light requires us to be intentional about living holy lives. Just as the dunes of white sands reflect the light of sunsets, our lives should reflect the character of Jesus. This means living with love and walking in truth with God's help day by day. We should do our best to choose words and actions that point others to the hope they can find in Jesus. The broken world we live in is full of the darkness of sin and despair. But as children of the light, we can overcome the darkness around us. God has given us sparks of His light in our souls that we can shine through our relationships with Jesus. Jesus tells us in Matthew 5:14, "You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden." Our lives should highlight the power of God's love, so the people we meet can see that God can give them the hope they need. Living as children of the light is not easy. It requires courage to stand for truth in a culture that often rejects it. It demands grace and forgiveness in painful situations. Most of all, living as children of the light means letting God's love flow through us to others. It challenges us to intentionally choose kind words and actions and share the gospel message with people who are searching for hope, Every day we can find new opportunities to shine as children of the light. We can reflect God's light anytime and anywhere we choose to do our best to live with love and point others to God. Just as the wonderful light of sunsets inspires us with awe, we can inspire others by living as children of the light in the darkness of this fallen world. So let's remember our calling. Let's turn away from darkness and toward light with every opportunity we have to do so. God will work through our lives in wonderful ways as we reflect His light to people who need to see it. Intersecting faith and life. As you consider how to live as a child of God who reflects His light, reflect on these questions. Watch a sunset. How does it inspire you to reflect God's light in your life? In what areas of your life do you find it challenging to live as a child of the light? What practical steps can you take this week to intentionally reflect God's love and holiness to the people who know you? How can you encourage others to walk in God's light by starting relationships with Jesus? Further reading: John 8:12, Matthew 5:14 through 16, Ephesians 5:8 through 9, Philippians 2:15, Psalm 27:1.
The Crosswalk Devotional is a production of Life Audio and Salem Media. If you liked what you heard today, please take a second to rate and review this podcast in your favorite podcast app so that more listeners like you can find the show. For more faith-filled, inspirational podcasts, visit us at lifeaudio.com.
The ship's drifting out of control. Get out of there now.
What happened?
His cord snapped. Some called it impossible.
Okay, Dave, I don't know where I am.
Others call it a miracle.
No, he's not.
Focus Features presents the inspirational true story
I got an idea.
that kept the world breathless.
This isn't working.
You can do this, buddy.
Starring Woody Harrelson
Now!
and Simu Liu.
I'm not losing a diver today.
Last Breath, based on a true story. Rated PG-13. May be inappropriate for children under 13. Only in theaters today.